All right, Shalom. We want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Mama. Double honors to the elder parts and the elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Aki and pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the car Karab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And today I'll be coming out with a lesson. The title of it is Store Up Your Treasures, because we're to store up our treasures in heaven. We're to store up our riches with Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, because storing our riches up with them, storing our riches up in heaven, our riches will not be taken. No thief can break through and steal. Nobody, it cannot be taken. It won't rot, it won't rust, the moths won't eat it, meaning your treasures won't degrade and wither away. But without further ado, this is Ecclesiastes. I'm going to start at chapter 1, chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days." Cast your bread upon the waters, meaning give your time to this truth. Give your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And it says, "And for thou shalt find it after many days," meaning you give your time, you give your blood, your sweat, your tears for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Eventually, in the end, I won't say eventually, in the end, you will receive a reward. Heck, while you sowing your time or giving your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you will find your bread after a while, meaning you will increase in this knowledge as well. You will increase in the wisdom. You will start to understand various breakdowns. You will start to understand different scriptures and what they really mean and what the Lord is really saying through his word. And you'll better understand so that you can better teach his word to his people, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Yasha Allah. But again, it says, "Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days." Give your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And after a while, you will see a recompense, you will see a reward. You will increase in knowledge. You will increase in the understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You will increase in his word. Verse 4, I'm going to jump down. "He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap." See, when you caught up and worrying about various things rather than doing the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, it says, "He that observeth the wind will not sow." When you caught up doing other things, or that's just like the parable in the sower. The things of this world will choke the word out of you. When you caught up doing other things, you ain't gonna do the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You ain't gonna sow your time to reap that blessing, to reap that treasure, that crown. And it says, "He that regardeth the cloud shall not reap." When you being slothful, when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not gonna reap the reward of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So you got to cast your bread upon the waters, i.e., give your time to this truth. Give your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai so that you can receive a reward in the end. But if you always worrying about various things or letting the things of this world hinder you, well, again, "He that observeth the wind shall not sow." You're not going to give your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You're not going to sow your talents. You're not gonna flip the Lord's money, as the brother Marzan in this camp like to say. You don't flip the Lord's money, meaning you don't increase in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You're not gonna reap. When you worry about the cloud, when you worry about different things, you're not gonna reap the benefits of giving your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You're not gonna grow in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You're not gonna grow in the truth. You're not gonna grow in the wisdom. So how do you do that? By keeping your mind on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and giving your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 6, I'm going to jump down. It says, "In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike or good." So sow in the morning, do the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai while it is morning. Give your time, seek the Most High while he can be found. Sow your seed in the morning so that you can reap. Don't withhold yourself or your time from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Do the work. Doing the work is you storing up your treasures in heaven, storing up your riches with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But let's go to Proverbs chapter 10. This is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4. It says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. See, you become poor. You become spiritually poor when you deal with a slack hand, when you don't give your time to Yahweh Shemel Shah. You become poor in the knowledge and the wisdom. You become poor in the understanding of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And you become, again, yes, you become poor spiritually. I mean, why? Because you're not storing up your treasure, because you're dealing with a slack hand. You're being slothful. You're being lazy. You can't gain anything or various blessings from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua dealing with a slack hand, meaning a lazy hand. But the hand of the diligent maketh rich. The one that's giving his time to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the one that's studying to show himself approved, that's rightly dividing the word of truth, the man that's sowing, that's storing his treasures up in heaven, well, that's the diligent man, that's the diligent hand that's going to make him rich. Rich in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, rich in the wisdom, rich in the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Verse 5, he that gathereth in the summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. See, when you gather in the summer, you are a wise son, meaning you're doing the work while it is day. You're doing the work. You're seeking the Most High while he can be found. But he that sleepeth in harvest, in the harvest time, that's when you go to reap the benefits of your fruits and labors. But when you sleep in the harvest time, you're going to cause shame unto yourself. The Lord come back. You haven't pushed this plow. You haven't did anything. You haven't stored up your riches. That's going to be a shame unto you. Especially if you know to do this work and you didn't do it. You will be beaten with many stripes. More than somebody that didn't know. So yeah, store up your treasures with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in heaven. 2 Corinthians chapter 9. Start at verse 6. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap bountifully. So when you sow sparingly, you're going to reap sparingly. If you're not doing the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you just doing it here and there, well, guess what? You're only going to understand certain things of the scriptures here and there. Most of the times, brothers fall out. The Most High say, okay, you're not going to push the plow, you're not going to do the work. You're sowing sparingly, so eventually you reap sparingly. Eventually, the Most High just kind of slides you out the way. But when you sow sparingly, you reap sparingly. Meaning, if you sow a little bit, you're only going to get a little bit. You sow a lot, you sow bountifully, you're going to get a lot. Meaning, store up your treasures. If you're storing a little bit, you're only going to get a little bit. You store a lot, i.e., give your time to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the time that he requires of you and from you. You give that to him. When you do that, and you do it a lot or you do it much, well, you're going to reap much. You're gonna reap. The Most High will bless you. He will give you the understanding. He will tell you what he means with his words. A lot of different things happen. A lot of benefits happen spiritually and in his carnal sense. You're mentally more alert. Your mind is more clear. You're more upbeat. You're more you have a positive vibe about yourself. This really changes you. This is the living word. The Most High is the living word. And he's saying instructions. That's why it's called the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. So he's saying if you do a little bit, you're going to get a little bit. If you do a lot, you're going to get a lot. So if you bountifully sow, the Most High is going to give you much understanding of his word, much understanding of his wisdom. But if you sow a little bit, you're only going to get a little bit of understanding. You're not going to be as versed as, sometimes we'll start to think carnally a little bit. You won't be as versed as you think you're supposed to be in this truth, in the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. But again, if you sow sparingly, you're going to reap sparingly. But if you sow bountifully, you're going to reap bountifully. Meaning, if you give the most High your time as you should, you're going to reap that.